Hello everybody. I can get that camera set so you can see me fine. I just want to talk about white spot. We've done some videos over the time of white spot, and what I'm going to do is grab that camera and just show you. Now if ever I get any signs of white spot on the property, because the big fish shed, if you've seen any of that stuff, and there's some goldfish out here and fancy goldfish, I cannot afford white spot. And if you wonder, it's probably about 50 feet away from each other, some of this stuff in the shed, but you can transport it on your hands. Nets are bad for doing it, so I have to be extremely careful. So if I find any white spot, I treat everybody with white spot treatment, and I'll talk about what I used in a minute. The thing is, as soon as I found out, my first port of call, I will show you in a minute, was methylene blue. Methylene blue, a lot of people treat it for the fungus, especially when we have baby eggs and fry and all that type of stuff, but it also controls white spot. All right, not sponsored by any of these, but jump on board if you want, because my go-to thing is Ikonek as a white spot treatment. I didn't have any, so I hit it with some methylene blue, and then a couple of days later I went and got Ikonek. And yes, I'm a bad fish breeder for not having this on hand. This is my normal go-to. It normally works all the time. Well, it does work all the time if you get on top of it. So, methylene blue, doused it right through. I'll show you in a minute. In this system here, has got normal goldfish. Another system's got normal goldfish, and the system up near the end had my colony of ranchu in it that have spawned once this year. And then I quarantined some fish, and I quarantined them for 2 weeks, and I thought they were all clear. Always, any time I get new fish, I put in high airflow for 2 weeks, and I use Ikonek and white spot and a bit of salt just to make sure they're right. And I put them in the system. Obviously they weren't right, so then I had to get everything right. So then after I treated with methylene blue, a couple of days later I treated with Ikonek, and a couple of days after that again I treated with Ikonek, and I treated with tropical salt. Now do not be tricked and fooled into tropical salt and the salt for goldfish. What a load of tripe. Other than the colour of it, it's the same bloody product. Experts can tell me different. So I'll just grab this camera and I'll just show you. So this is where like your normal goldfish are that I breed from. So you're not going to be able to see anything in there, but I treated that heavily as well. This is where another big colony of normal goldfish are, and you can see this runs down through and that, and I have nothing in there at the moment, but I do have golden barbs in there. All right, so then I went across, and this, God, cat gets under my feet. They won't come out today. Ooh, where are we? There we go. There's one coming out. Nice big ranchu. They're huge ranchus down in here. I suppose if I got a little bit of food, we might walk up there and see if we can grab a little bit of food. And don't worry, all fish come out when there's a little bit of food. There is my motley cat, who's shedding all of its, because it's such a long-haired cat, when it sheds and molts for summer, such a beautiful cat don't look beautiful anymore. Alright, I'll let them come to the food, same as them. You won't see these because these they stay down deep and don't come up very often. Well, that's the end of that food. I need to grab some more from in the shed. I'm doing a big order of fish food today or tomorrow, actually. So here, so I did lose a couple in here. So somehow it got transferred from here to here. Whether I don't know which one it come from, but I did put a couple of new ranch chew in there. Alright, as you see, they got no white spot on them now. It's hard for you to see, but when they have white spot, they also go listless or lifeless and don't want to swim and move around. And these fellas now, they're all back in here. They love going in the weeds. I always think that, well, there's something wrong with them, but they just go in there and lay in there. They love it. And then they come out in the clearing, and every now and then I keep this clear, and they come out here. As I said, there's a nice colour, there's black ones and tricolour, not tricolour, calico and everything in there, but you're only seeing a couple at the moment. But this system goes up through here and back into here. Doesn't connect to this one, but somehow I've transferred it from this to this somehow, or maybe from the weeds. I don't know. I don't know if the weeds can do it. Not sure. But anyway, my 3 go-to products for the treatment of white spot. That was no high airflow in there and no raising the temperature right up. If you keep every 2 to 3 days treating, especially with Echinect, I'm telling you, methylene blue is really, really good too, because methylene blue stays in the water column for a long time. But I find too much methylene blue, not in this system, but too much methylene blue in your aquariums sometimes can crash your what are we talking about? Bloody your water. Anyway, it messes sometimes with your stability if you just keep using it too often. If you use it every now and then, it is great and doesn't hurt putting a drop in every now and then. All right, well, that will conclude that video. Don't need to show you in the big shed. If any of you are watching, you've probably seen in there before, but remember to like, share and subscribe and comment and tell me what you do for white spot, and I'll see you in the next one.